Hello my friends, this is Utagamon. Today is Deus Ex Mankind Divided benchmarking day and I'm going to start my benchmarks from my GTX 1070 system. This is the digital recording as always, which is done on an external recorder at 60 frames per second. So what you will see in this video will be pure performance. I'm using my trusty old Core i5 2500, which is overclocked for this benchmark and all benchmarks to 4.8 GHz. It has 16 GB of memory and the graphics card is a single GTX 1070 KFA2EX model, latest firmware, and it is also overclocked, so it will be boosting at 2 GHz. We'll see if it will keep this frequency at the end of the video. I'm going to use fraps to gather frame rate data, and we will see the basic result in this file, and we'll do some analysis at the end of the video. So let me launch the game and let me show you the options first. 1080p resolution, and I'm using the ultra preset. I'm just disabling motion blur and I'm going to increase anisotropic, and that's it. Let me load my benchmark location. Okay, the game is loaded. I'm not going to start the benchmark just yet because I have to fix a couple of things. It will just take a moment. We are ready and I am starting the benchmark.
And I fear the repercussions will test our resolve.
Wonderful. Hola? Vehicle buddy is passing through.
You must submit to an identification scan.
Initiate security scan.
Welcome to Golem City, Clank. But fear has blinded our accusers.
I'm dying.
With my probability of you, escort you to a safe house. Such ship to the down. You don't want to.
It's an escalation.
You intend to attack me.
That sounds good.
You're under arrest.
We're all dead.
Why are you doing this?
Psycho you are.
I'm sick of you! You need to help us!
That's far enough, Clank. No one gets in the Narrows without the proper authorization, and you do not have it.
That's a catchy name for, what, a makeshift staging area for your Golem City op?
Aren't you a smart one? Tell you what, smart guy. Keep moving, or I'll make sure you regret it.
Come on, Og. Walk those shiny legs out of my sight.
start looking through the database.
Lovely.
What a joke you are! Can't even aim! Get down! You'll spend the rest of your life in...
It's like you're coming down to the...
Oh god! Oh my god! Show us how strong you really are! Make it up!
Hey, brother, watch it. The cops are everywhere today.
I noticed that. Are you Tibor?
Yes, you're late, Interpol.
Sorry, this place is a little chaotic.
A little. It's crazy today. The cops are having a feeding frenzy. Beating people. Innocent people. Senseless. You know, I can't help you. It's too dangerous now.
Tibor, I can get you out of here.
And then what? They go back to my housing unit and take me again?
And what if you're not there?
No, no. Please, that will just make it worse. They know who I am. They went after my family.
Interpol has promised to get you and your family out of here to safety.
Safety? There is no safety. Only tyrants who prey on the weak and the innocent.
All right, Tibor, listen. I understand why you can't come with me, but I still need to get to Rucker, or what happened to you and your family today will happen to others. I'll smooth it over with Interpol. Is there any other way you can help me?
There's a man, a smuggler, Louis Galois. He imports items for Talos, neuropozyne, whiskey. He could get you in, but you'd have to do him a favor. He likes favors.
That's something. Any other ideas?
My keycard to get to Ark territory is gone. One of the cops took it. Probably still has it on him.
Thanks, I'll look into it.
I know you don't owe me anything, but if you see Dushan, my brother, help him. It's my fault he's here.
I'll see what I can do. Chicane, get a message to Miller. Sokol's backed out of the deal.
Why am I not surprised?
He's just looking after his family. Besides, it's not a complete wash. He gave me some options on how to get into Ark on my own.
Well, just be careful, Jensen. This arsehole obviously can't be trusted. Let me know when you're in.
Let me show you what happens when you hold out.
Come on, man, put that away.
Those cops won't be a problem anymore.
Too bad. I was just starting to warm up to them.
I can try and get some more down here if that's what you want.
No. It is better this happens now before I become too attached. You mind untying me?
Sure.
I assume my brother asked you to help me out. Or was it something else?
A man getting savagely beaten isn't something I can just watch, regardless of the reason.
Well, you know cops, right? Assholes do not need a reason.
I do know cops, and whether it's right or wrong, there's always a reason.
Look, all I know is that since the Ruzicka bombing, the police have been cracking down on us hard. They suspect Ark, of course, but they're blaming every AUG. For most of them, it's just another excuse to hurt us.
You're a member of Ark?
My brother is. I just repair things for them sometimes. Heating units, security cameras. It is how I earn a living for my family.
Do you know if Ark was responsible for the Ruzicka bombing?
No. And I do not want to know. After this, I'm done with them. Being associated with Ark. Even if they are our only hope, it is not worth the pain. Look, you want to know what Ark is up to? You're going to have to ask them yourself.
Fair enough. How do I do that?
When you have robbed the man of all, the things... He is no longer the... He has no more of... Shit. Power. Something. Freedom. How does it go?
Are you feeling alright?
It is this week's passphrase. It is Selznick or Solzhenitsyn. Ah, I got it. When you rob a man of everything, he is no longer in your power. He is free again. Just remember the quote. It'll get you past Lubosh. He guards the way to the Ark elevator. Just repeat the quote, and he will let you in.
This'll help, thank you.
It is the least I can do. Thanks to you, I get to sleep in my own bed tonight.
Please! We are brother and sister. Together. Together. Keep it together.
Access granted.
Wonder.
And find here.
Prepare to provide support. You don't get that satisfaction.
And this is the end of the benchmark. I believe we have enough benchmarking data. For starters, the average frame rate was 101 frames per second. Not too bad. Lengthy one. frame rate is quite decent. A little higher during the conversation, of course, but even during the action scenes it's still pretty playable. Actually, I'm playing this game at 60 frames per second with vertical sync and it is absolutely great, no problems. The GPU usage is not maxed out all the time, as you can see. We do have quite a few CPU limits throughout the run, and we can see here why, because the CPU is at 100% most of the time. It is one of the highest CPU usages I have ever seen in a game, a trend that is happening too often lately. The poor 2500 is getting older, but as I said, it can run the game at 60 frames per second at 4.3 GHz, which is my daily frequency. CPU temps are okay. RAM usage at 6.3 gigabytes, 6.4. The power of the card at 88%, give or take, 85 to 88. GPU temps are okay. The GPU voltage at 1.055 and the core clock is at 2 GHz throughout the run. No throttling at all, very good. 5.4, 5.5 gigabytes of video RAM usage. It is very demanding. It takes whatever resources it can, but let's see what the analysis will show us. I need this file, the big one. So for starters, the usual donut, average frame times at 9.92 milliseconds. The variability and the stuttering is not too much. It is acceptable. The comparable frame rate according to the calculator is at 70 frames per second due to the stuttering and all that. Quite a drop from 100 average frame rate we had with the simple measurement. We see the frame rate graph. It is indeed close to 100 frames per second, give or take, but the frame times were a little erratic, and we see how they are highlighted here. Of course, the conversation inside the benchmark can cause this variability in the frame times, but still all these spikes mean that the game is quite heavy. I'm not sure why these are occurring. Maybe it is a CPU problem, because the GTX 1070 for sure does not have a problem running this game. Now the good thing is that, as I told you, I'm running at 60 frames per second in normal gameplay, and it is very smooth with vertical sync, of course. So time spent beyond 16.7 milliseconds is only 2.3% of the total number of the frames, so we can see that the system indeed has the power to run the game at a solid 60 without any problem. Time spent beyond graph, beyond what milliseconds. The higher the milliseconds, the fewer the time spent. So we do have a good performance overall, and we can see that clearly, more clearly in the time spent graph, in the percentile graph. Sorry, we do see that for the 16 milliseconds frame times, only very short percentage above the 97th percentile is lower than that. So we do have a good performance overall. And in the frame times graph, we see that there is indeed some scattering between frame times, but as I told you, this may be occurring because the very low frame times are during the conversations, and these frame times here are occurring during the gameplay, but they are still very low. That's why the game was very playable, no problems whatsoever. This is the end of the video, my friends. I hope you find all this data interesting. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.